대박 원전 강추입니다.
현재 전 세계는 그야말로 한국 양념치킨 열풍입니다. 영국의 유명 푸드 저널리스트 마이클 부스는 칼럼을 통해 한국의 프라이드 치킨은 인정해야겠다. 인정할 수밖에 없지. 한국 치킨은 정말 진짜 맛있더라라고 고백했습니다. 유튜브에서 한국 치킨으로 검색하면 외국인들이 한국식 치킨을 먹고 감탄하는 수없이 많은 영상을 볼 수가 있죠. 세계적인 치킨 브랜드인 KFC를 여기저기서 코리안 프라이드 치킨으로 바꿔 부를 정도입니다. 우리가 알지 못하는 사이에 한국 치킨은 세계인의 입맛을 사로잡아버린 것입니다. 최근 주한 미국 대사관 SNS에는 한국과 미국의 퓨전 버거는 어떤 맛일까요? 쉐이크쉑의 고추장 치킨 버거를 맛본 미 국무부 동료 도미닉은 대박이라고 하네요라는 글이 올라왔습니다. 해당 게시물에서는 미 국무부 직원 도미닉이 쉑쉑 버거의 고추장 치킨 버거를 맛보는 영상이 올라왔습니다. 미 국무부 직원 도미닉은 쉑쉑 버거의 한국식 고추장 치킨 버거를 맛보고 이 버거 안에는 고추장과 김치가 들어있습니다라고 하며 새 입만에 다 먹은 후 한국어로 강추 대박을 외쳤습니다.
대박 원전 강추입니다.
미국 내슈빌에서 한식당을 운영하는 미국인 BJ 로프백은 바삭한 치킨에 양념 소스를 바르는 한국식 양념치킨은 기존의 상식을 깨는 가장 창의적인 요리인 동시에 기존 튀김 요리의 한계를 극복한 궁극의 음식이라고 말합니다. 그리고 쉑쉑에서 양념치킨 버거를 출시하기 이전부터 이미 여러 번 방송에 출연해서 한국식 양념치킨 버거를 방송에서 소개하며 극찬하고 있습니다.
Welcome back. One of our favorites is here, Chef BJ from Funk Soul Brother, and he is doing something delicious.
Listen, we always love when you stop by. I'm still thinking about the recipe you shared with us last month. Pretty incredible. We are talking Korean fried chicken and how to do it at home. This dish is having a moment.
It is. And you know, I've been kind of forcing this moment for quite some time. Until that Korean fried chicken and beer restaurant exists in Nashville, the true moment isn't here, but it's coming.
It's coming.
It's gotta happen.
It's coming.
But listen, Funk Soul Brother provides.
Yes.
You can always visit him at the factory at Franklin, always
right.
in the food truck.
You
Yeah.
start off, you've
We'll
got
do
some really
something
good
good.
pieces of chicken looking over there.
BJ 로프백의 한식 사랑을 더 잘 이해하기 위해서는 그의 가게를 방문해보는 것도 중요한데요. 한쪽 벽은 한국이라고 해도 믿어질 정도로 한국 사랑이 가득하네요.
DJ Lovebag, good to have you with us.
Thanks.
Good to be on location. Usually you're in the studio with us sharing what's good on the food truck, but how things been for you?
Very, very good. We've been really enjoying the new location, and it's good to have you at our house.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. We're going to talk a little bit about the restaurant first. So for folks who know the food truck, what can they expect when they come here?
Well, it's a very similar experience. I have a food truck mind. I love being able to make the food and hand it right to people, and so that's really what we wanted to emulate here inside the restaurant. But there are also some dishes that are exclusive just to here. So when you go to the truck, maybe you'll have something that you can have there, but here we've got just a couple of things that you can only have here.
If you will, chat a little bit about what you've got up. You've got a nice collection, nice, colorful restaurant.
Well, you know, this may shock you, Leland, but I am not Korean, okay?
No. Oh.
But I love those cuisines and I love those cultures, and I've developed that culture over that love of those cuisines and cultures over a very long time. And so when a guy from Detroit takes on what that is, this is kind of what you get. Okay, it's you're not gonna find this necessarily in Korea. As it comes through my mind and filters out, here's what we have.
All right, so we've got several things that you've brought for us to look at, and a couple of things that are on the menu right now. So let's chat about a couple of the things. We're going to talk about this drink here in just a second, but let's start with this dish right here.
This is probably the most traditional dish that we have. It's called bibimbap, and very, very traditional Korean dish where you have seasoned vegetables, steamed rice, bulgogi beef, and the idea there is you just mix that thing all the way up, and you get it all flavored and tasty, and you shovel it on in because it's a wonderful. It's slightly spicy, slightly sweet, but a great, healthy, wonderful dish to have. So let's talk about Korean fried chicken.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
So what we're going to do today, now Korean fried chicken, the hallmarks of that is a very, very crispy chicken.
Okay.
Something that holds its crisp, but then can be dipped into a sauce. And we're doing a Korean hot chicken slider today. So we're kind of changing the recipe a little bit
I'm into
to
that.
be a little more southern. Carol, you know how to dredge things. We're going to take a lovely piece of chicken. We're going to put
This
it
is
in.
beautiful.
I like cornstarch for my dredge.
Oh,
And then we're going to go
cornstarch.
into, I love how she goes with her fingers. I gave her tongs. She's like, nah, this is real deal
Yeah,
right
this is
here.
how you do it at home.
That's right.
This is how we do it.
Now, here is the key.
Okay.
Here is the thing to making just the most special fried chicken, grilled chicken, pork chops, whatever you're saying, brining. People tend to skip the brining step. They think marinade is good. They think all these things. But brining is truly the way we want to go.
And brining,
that's how I'm going to just slay.
Dominate.
Yes,
Again,
it's
total
gonna
dominate.
love
Can I put
love
it in here? What
Please
is this
do.
mixture?
Yep. That is seasoned flour that we've drizzled a little bit of our marinade, or I just said don't marinate, and I'm throwing in marinade.
Yeah.
But we want those little crispy bits in there to get on our chicken.
Yeah, you do crispy bits.
So
How long do you
brining-
brine
Yeah, I
before
want
you
to
even
talk about the
start?
brine.
Yeah.
What are you
this
using?
is so great. I'm loving that segue right there.
We're living it.
So we're using a 5% brine.
Okay.
Okay. So it is very mathematical. You want to go 50 grams per liter. Everybody's got a measuring
Grams
cup
and
in their house.
liters,
Turn the
okay.
cup side around and look
Alright.
for the liter and measure out 50 grams. If you don't have a scale in your kitchen, I don't even know why you're cooking in
Don't
it. You need to
bother.
get a scale.
Don't bother.
You need to get 50 grams going.
You're doing it wrong.
Put your pieces of chicken, whether it's bone in, whether it's skin on, whatever it
Yeah.
is, and what's going to happen is that salt water is going to find its way into the meat of the chicken.
Got it.
The proteins are going to denature a little bit. It's going to make some space for the salt in the water to stay in, and then when you cook it, that water will stay inside that chicken. Now, if we start cracking one of these ones here that I already opened, it's a little hot, but look at the juice that we're dealing with here.
Yeah, it's so
That's
juicy.
in the brine.
So
Now-
wait, is your brine just salt water?
It is just salt water. Now,
Okay.
that's what I like for fried chicken. I
Yeah.
don't like adulterating it too much, but if I'm doing a roasted chicken or a pork chop, I like to add some herbs or something along those
Gotcha.
lines, and that becomes really, really delicious.
Okay.
So let's take one of your pieces of chicken and start frying it.
Hot
and
oil,
then,
hot oil.
Yeah, hot oil. If you don't have to be afraid of hot oil. If you just put it away from you,
Good.
and don't be afraid. Your
See, you're
hands can
smart,
get
because
close.
I just do the drop and then it splatters and then I get
What
mad.
type of oil do you like?
I'm using for fried chicken. I'm old school. I like Crisco.
Crisco,
but I don't eat this
yes!
every day. Okay,
My
this is a
grandma would have
treat.
been so happy with you.
Well, I love
Thank
your
you. I
grandma.
love that
She's
you
a
throw the
wonderful
health
person.
component. This
Yeah.
is a treat.
This is not something
to
we
be
do
eaten
all
every
the
day.
time.
Okay, how long is it going to fry?
It's going to fry a
ridiculous.
good 6 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
Now, this is white meat, and people would think it's a sacrilege not to use dark meat or thighs or
Yeah.
legs or something
Yeah.
along those lines. I'm using boneless white meat, which is normally dry, but we brined it. So now we've got
Got it.
that
Okay.
seasoned flavor, because that's the difference between a home cook and a restaurant cook in many instances. We use more salt.
Yeah.
We season our food every step of the way, and that's one of the best things a home cook could do,
Okay.
besides brining, is learning different ways to season
Get
their
the
food through
seasoning.
the
I love that.
process.
All
I
right,
gotta
so-
say, I love how approachable this is, because sometimes when you see Korean fried chicken, it's like, woof, I'm me
Yeah.
death.
No, we don't have
This
to.
is- happen.
That's a beautiful slider.
I can do this, maybe.
So now we've got a hot oil
I
right
was going
here.
to say, what is this that
This
we're
is
about to do?
this is a little bit of canola oil. I've got gochugaru, which don't freak out. That is a very fancy Korean word for dried red pepper flake.
Okay.
And a little bit of cayenne. It's not hot chicken if you don't have that cayenne bite.
drizzling that on, or are
I'm
you
actually
dipping it
taking
in?
that chicken, dipping it right in.
This is
there it
beautiful.
I kind of stirred it a couple of minutes ago because we want to get cayenne always likes to settle down in.
Okay.
And that's going to
Ooh.
soak right into
Just let that
to those
baby
nooks and
soak.
crannies that we have going on
Check
in there.
that
We've got
out.
a little quick pickle a slaw here. We
This
can go
is
ahead and
beautiful.
do our slider. And you notice my meat to bread ratio is ridiculous.
And I love
To
you
me,
for
that
it.
is
You
the
can
key.
pick at the Springer Mountain Chicken, all your local grocery stores. That's what he uses. So many chefs do.
미국에는 치킨을 먹는 날을 정해 치킨데이가 있을 정도로 치킨의 진심인 나라로도 유명합니다. 미국의 흔한 치킨은 맛이 눅눅하고 기름진 편인 반면 한국식 치킨은 기름기가 적고 한국적인 맛이 나는 양념이 듬뿍 발라져 있는데도 식감이 훨씬 바삭하다는 평가를 받으며 해외에서 엄연한 한국의 맛으로 통하고 있습니다. 여러분의 소중한 의견을 남겨주세요. 바쁘시더라도 구독과 좋아요 부탁드립니다. 지금까지 단골이시였습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.